So I've got here the Onna Bugeisha of Asukura set from Warlord Games, which may well be the last Test of Honor Samurai set that Warlord Games produce, as Footsore are taking it over this year. Let's have a good look at what's in the box. I've picked up an extra blister of archers because I figure I'm likely to need them to get to 24 points. As you saw in the previous video, I've got the Bad Squiddo Onna Bugeisha as well, which gives me another base of combat troops and 2 individual figures. So we start to get a good look at the contents. So back of the box gives painted versions of the figures. This is the character figure, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 unarmoured archers, 1 unarmoured Nodachi and 2 armoured Nodachi. Not Nodachi, Naginata. So I'll pop this to one side. We've got the campaign booklet. We've got the Who Packed It. We've got some bases. These look smaller than the bases that we got in previous sets. I'd need to compare them, but I think they are definitely smaller. We've got the cards, which there's quite a few. Let's have a good look. We've got the quest and ability cards. Right, so we have 2 hero cards. We've got Onna Bugeisha Naginata group, we've got Onna Bugeisha Archer group, we've got single Archer and single Naginata, which isn't necessarily great comparing it to the other stuff that we've got. So we've got in the box 6 12 points. Most games are going to be 16 or 20. I can add definitely another Onna Bugeisha with katana, because I've got 2 on foot Onna Bugeishas with katanas. Take that to 16. I've got another set of archers here to take that to 19. I'd need to then add another base of figures to 22 and a single figure, which I can do, but it'll be counting the guys I've got with katanas as having Naginatas. So hopefully in the new edition it'll be a bit more flexible about the number of models it supports. So let's have a look at what's in the box for miniatures. They've switched to the wooden rounds. Let's have a look at the minis. We have 3 archer arms and 3 sets of arrows. We have our hero figure. We have 3 archers. We have 3 Naginata. And some Naginata. So looking at the qualities of the casts, let's zoom in. So that gives you a good idea as to the quality of the casts. They're clean and quite crisp. The faces are reasonably sculpted for the scale. I'm looking to try and work out how the quivers are going to fit onto the back of the... No, they don't. The quivers you set up freestanding next to them on the bases. So these are 2-piece figures. We've got some fairly small points of contact, but there are pegs. So I'm wondering how that's going to go when I start putting these together. I may need to bore some of these holes out a little bit with a drill, but that's doable. Hero, let's quickly straighten the katana. A nice clean crisp sculpt. Yeah, that is a nice clean crisp sculpt. But yes, only 2 of these figures are armoured, which in events of a village or something may well be accurate. But all of the ones I've got from Bad Squiddo are armoured, so I'll still have a good mix in the course. But looking at it, yeah, I like them. I'm going to have to very carefully assemble these, and I'll probably do that as a separate video. So I'm going to pause the video for a second, take a look at the cards and take a look at the campaign book. So I've had a good look at the campaign book. You've got 7 scenarios for varying levels of forces. The last one is the only 24-point scenario. You've got scenarios as small as 10 points. You don't actually get enough of these cards for all the scenarios, because one of them requires 2 Onna Bugeishas with Naginatas, which they don't give you. They only give you 1, which is a bit meh. But looking at it, it's an interesting set of scenarios. None of them are really based on murdering the entire opposition. They're all based around objectives. We've got this one, Stalking the Dragon, which is based on assassinating the Onna Bugeisha hero and uses ninjas, which is interesting, and I've got ninjas that I can use to do it. This one is multiple objectives. This one is getting things off the table. Some of these ban taking any heroes at all, so they're purely commoner games, which again makes things more interesting. I've had a look at these fake cards. You've got Defender of the Home, which Takahashi Tei automatically gets, +1 agility defending in buildings, which is okay. Defender of the Family, +1 strength when a friendly commoner group within 3 inches has a blood drop. Let's zoom in on these cards. So that's quite good. Free dodge without using an action. That's quite good, but once per game. You can bounce out of combats that you're pretty certain you're not going to win. Once per game. Ongoing, you get the avoid bonus on 4 swords. That's great if it's combined with a weapon that is a riposte weapon, where if you avoid, you get to attack back. When you get knocked down, because I certainly like knocking things down with clubs, and I've got a whole 2 bases of Ronin with clubs to specifically knock down things like samurai, so that you can pound on them, get out of that. Tanto Jitsu, single commoner archer within 6 inches counts as a katana for this turn, once per turn, to represent the tantos that Onna Bugeisha carried. Superior shot, +1 aim for a nominated commoner group within 6 inches for 1 attack, once per turn, which is pretty good. Awareness, let you avoid friendly models between you and your target when you're attacking an opposing samurai and charging. Quests, dodge all attacks in 1 game, that's pretty hard. Cause 3 wounds from counter attacks. Combine that with this, that actually becomes reasonably easy. Lose no combats in buildings, and you've got to fight at least 1 combat in a building. But yeah, there's some interesting cards. Certainly it'd be interesting to throw some of these into an Onna Bugeisha deck and theme it. I think Onna Bugeisha are going to be somewhere between... They're a little bit better than standard Asukura, but they're not as good as samurai troops. It'll be interesting to put them together and paint them, particularly given the amount of cloth you've got and the patterns you can do on it. So looking at this, certainly you probably want to do patterns on all the cloth ones, to be fair, if you've got the patience and the detail, and mix up the colours. So as a painter, it could be quite an interesting force to put together, because you can vary what you've got some skin to do stuff with, you've got variety of models, and you've got a lot of cloth that you can put patterns on, and you should put patterns on to vary the force and to make it look colourful and interesting. So certainly the stuff on the back gives you an idea of what you can do, but things like these petal patterns that you see on the hero here, there's no reason why you can't put that on some of the other models. So I got this on an offer. I had delayed painting it and I didn't get the big deal from Warlord, mainly because I did get the big monk deal with extra monks to give me enough monks, and it was massively expensive. So I picked this up when it was on offer over Christmas, and that's probably the only way I'd do it. The metals have certainly got quite pricey, and the idea of charging 12 quid for the 3 model boosters is going a bit too far in my mind. So again, I got it because it was on offer, and I got it at 15% off, an extra 10% off due to eBay vouchers. But the models look good. I look forward to building and painting them up, and I'll do that in a separate video that I'll probably shoot tonight. But yeah, I like it. Test of Honor is a great game, and it's getting a 2nd edition this year. I'll be stocking it in my store, and I'll be playing some games. So I've got to make sure I've got some forces painted up to lend out for people to play. So if you've liked this video, hit like and subscribe. If you want to chat, leave a comment below. But otherwise, guys, good gaming.